Okay, we're going to make chocolate mousse. What we have to make the chocolate mousse is we have chocolate. I've got some butter. I've got egg yolks, egg whites, heavy cream, sugar, and I've got some bananas and strawberries, as well as some amaretto. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the chocolate to melt with some butter. So I've got the butter that's been out for a little bit, getting a little soft. I'm going to add that to it. Slice it up a little bit to make it a little easier to help it melt. I'm going to use a spatula to incorporate the butter and the chocolate. Now I really want this to be hot enough that when I add the egg yolks, I get them to help start to set up the chocolate, and also to make sure that the eggs are warm enough that we don't have any problems with any kind of bacteria growth. I have the chocolate in a double boiler because I want to have just enough heat to melt the chocolate. So our chocolate is probably right now at about 150, 165 degrees, somewhere in that range. And as we do the rest of the procedure, it will start to cool down. I've got a nice granite top that will help reduce the temperature of the chocolate. And now we've got the chocolate in a nice smooth texture. We can take a look and see how that is looking. The butter is almost all completely melted. I can add my egg yolks. And I'm going to be a little vigorous because I want to make sure that the egg yolks do break up and disperse nice and evenly. The egg yolks are going to help this give it a little bit of body and strength to our mousse. The chocolate itself also, when it sets up, will help give some body and strength to the mousse. What's really nice about this mousse is it works really nicely to be served as is, or I can serve it frozen. And if I serve it frozen, it's almost like an ice cream. It's very nice. Now our chocolate is nicely incorporated. I'm just going to put that off to the side. Oh, I'm actually going to add my amaretto to it now, so that flavor can meld together with the chocolate, and I'll get a nice even dispersal of the amaretto. I can use any kind of liqueur if I want. Grand Marnier works really nicely. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to whip our whipped cream. So I'm going to add the whipped cream to the bowl. What I want to make sure is I want to have the bowl to be as cold as possible. And what I'm going to show you is also this. There's always a little bit of extra cream that's in the bottom of the container. So I always like to let it sit for a second and pour out the rest of that. So what I'm looking for with my whipped cream is I want to have what I call a Smurf hat. And if I've got a Smurf hat, there we go, a little bit of a Smurf hat, then that means I've got it whipped enough. I got air incorporated into it, but I don't have it too stiff. If it's too stiff, then I've got the bubbles, or the meniscus is going to be too tight, and it will actually make it fall easier. It will make it less fluffy. I know it's sort of counterintuitive. You would think that getting the whip to be a little bit tighter, it would give you a little bit bigger or give you more lift, but actually the bubbles will start to pop. Okay, so the ice I'm going to use to do two things. One is I'm going to help rinse out the bowl with that ice, but I'm also going to get that bowl extra cold because I did use some water to rinse out the bowl. So that will help cool off the bowl. I can go ahead and add my egg whites. Put this back into place. And I'm going to first loosen up the egg whites. And what I'm trying to do is I want to see a little bit of that meniscus starting to develop. And so you can see that the egg whites are starting to turn white and there's some meniscus building up. Now I can go ahead and add my, I'm actually using Splenda, actually no, stevia, in this, because I like to make it as low in calories as possible because I like the taste of this and I want to be able to enjoy it. Now I go on a low speed first to help get those, get that incorporated. Once it's incorporated, then I can go ahead and bring it up. You can start to see the blades of the whisk starting to leave a little bit of a pattern behind. That's when I know I'm getting close. And you can see now I have that Smurf hat that I was looking for. Okay. See, in volume, I've got a lot more white than I have of the whipped cream and that I have of the chocolate. So the egg white is going to be what's going to give me this body. So the word mousse is a French word that means foam. So you can see that we have the foam. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add chocolate to the whipped cream at first. And we're going to loosen up the chocolate into the whipped cream. Have nice little streaks in there, that's perfect. Then I'll go ahead and add a little more chocolate. We're going to see those nice streaks again. I don't have to have this perfectly all the way mixed yet because we're going to still be doing some more mixing. I don't know if you noticed this spatula that I'm using has got a bowl shape to it. That's so I can help it fold in nicely. So again, I'm going to take a little bit of my egg white and I'm going to add that to this to help loosen this whole up. And as I get that incorporated, then I can keep adding more of my egg white. Basically, I'm adding this in thirds. Not exactly a third, one third, but in 3 parts. And you can see it looks nice and foamy. I'm trying to scoop off the bottom of the bowl just to make sure that I get it all nicely incorporated. To plate this up, I'm going to put some gloves on because I'm going to be handling the fruit. Few bowls, put some bananas in these. And then add the mousse right on top. Before I go on to the next ones, what I want to do is I want to put a banana garnish on these so that I remember that these are banana. At the bottom. Now what I can also do with the mousse is I could serve it in a larger container. I can even put it into ramekins where I put a little bit of a seal around the ramekin, like with aluminum foil, and I can actually fill it a little bit above the rim, and then freeze it, and then it's served as a frozen mousse or another kind of a dessert. So it's a very versatile dessert, but as you can see with this, you can see from the bottom that it's got the bananas, and you can see from the top that it's got the banana. Buen provecho.